So, if you're not going to watch this video to its fullest, don't watch it at all. But the whole world is a stage, and I'm going to prove it to you. So here is, and this isn't my only point, just watch the whole thing. Here's Truman Court. I live in Columbus, Ohio. In Columbus, Ohio, there is a road called Truman Boulevard, Truman Court, and there's also a pharmacy called Matrix Pharmacy on the same road. Do you see? It's not a coincidence. And in Columbus, Ohio, there is a bar called Saturn's Bar, and there's Saturn winking with the left eye, symbolizing the Hiram Abiff, second son taken out, turned into a gas giant. Saturn. And it's crowned with the ring. That's the explanation. So I'm going to get to some more interesting points. I'm going to edit this all together, and you're going to see the entire world is a stage. A satanic stage. So COVID-19 was a mass hive mind ritual. I'm first going to explain hive mind. Alright? Sorry. This might be a little bit slow. So hive mind is global consciousness, but it's sort of similar to like an egregore, right? So you have the all-around global consciousness of man, which is shared by everyone who has a mind. That is global consciousness. Everyone is connected. Hive mind is a bit different. Hive mind is essentially an egregore, which is a thought form or physical entity that arises from the collective thoughts and emotions of a distinct group of individuals. So hive mind. So let me find this picture. This picture right here is perfect. It's basically like a bubble of consciousness formed by man. So this is why they have secret societies. That's an egregore. That's a consciousness bubble, a hive mind, you see. Let me explain something else. So I'm editing this together, and I wanted to explain something else. That the reason they formed an egregore with COVID-19 was so they could control people with their vaccines. That's why. They wanted people to, en masse, believe in these vaccines or believe in not these vaccines. It's an artificial divide created by a machine to control them. Do you see? To control the masses. They don't care about either side of the masses. Alright, it's all about control. That's why they had to form a thought egregore, a collective thought entity as it relates to COVID-19. Because it's a satanic creation that they're using, one, to install divide between people of the mind and people of the heart, and two, to control. It's a satanic ritual, and it's also humiliation, it's torture, it's abuse. Whenever you heard that someone died of long COVID, the chances are those people were covertly assassinated. There was a CIA director who was exposing human trafficking for some time, and within months, I think, of COVID starting, possibly the year, he dies. That's because he was covertly assassinated for speaking the truth. So this is a very interesting thing that I found out about Robert David Steele from looking at his Wikipedia page for 5 minutes. So, as you see there, he was a case officer for the Central Intelligence Agency. You don't get such a position for no reason. He was co-founder of the United States Marine Corps Intelligence Activity. And notice how they say he's a conspiracy theorist right there. So this is how dumb the rulers of this planet think that you are. They think that you're going to buy this shit. So you see, he wrote several books that mysteriously Wikipedia won't acknowledge about human trafficking. And he owned a website where he insinuated this entire world is controlled by human trafficking people. And I am now unable to find that website now. So it says this: in July 2021, he held a demonstration in Belfast, Maine, to claim that the 2020 presidential election was rigged and called COVID-19 a hoax. He claimed to be the first person to call COVID-19 a hoax. The tour concluded in August of 2021. Remember that, following allegations that $300,000 had been stolen from the tour's budget. He also promoted the QAnon conspiracy theory. So you notice how alright, so it says Steele died from COVID-19 in Florida on August 29th, 2021. In the same month, his event calling COVID-19 a hoax psyop, he dies. So at the same month he ends this event, he dies. You notice how they don't say anything about his death. They just say, before his admission to the hospital, Steele had promoted an anti-vaccination campaign. It's because the person that wrote this article, isn't a real person. None of these people are real. That's why it's so fucking biased. I mean, like, just ridiculous shit. So they want you to believe that since he didn't get his vaccines and he died of COVID apparently, which he probably didn't. I think they covertly assassinated him. This is just too good to be true. You know what I'm saying? I think you see the implication I'm making. They're trying to insinuate he died because he didn't take his vaccines. It's a fucking sham. They're full of shit. And they're disgusting people. So, this whole coronavirus exercise and psyop and satanic ritual was done for this purpose. It is a ritual, coronavirus disease. So at the same time, these people are telling you on the fake news and the fake YouTube channels that these people own, the same time they're doing that, they're doing this. So let me repeat that. At the same time they're telling you there's a worldwide pandemic where hundreds of thousands of people are dying, they're doing this. Just drink that in, and you still don't think it's a satanic ritual. They are controlled. Maybe some of them think that this is being done for a positive purpose, but it's not. That's why the app is called TikTok. TikTok, time is limited. And time isn't only limited for us, it's limited for Satan. So you know how TikTok is fucking, like, it's low effort content. It's hive mind training. If you go to a specific song on TikTok, you can literally scroll probably for hours watching different people do the same dances or a different dance to the same song. It's hive mind training. That's what it is. Alright? That's why the doctors are all doing their dances on TikTok. The time is limited. That's why they're doing this coronavirus system in 2019 to 2020 and then onwards. The reason they did that was so they could tell you and show you how easy it is to control everyone, but also actually do that. They needed to vet how easy it was to vacate these people. Vaca means cow, vaccinate. Alright? They needed to see that. They needed to see that they could do that still, which they knew they could do, otherwise they wouldn't have done it. The aliens that have set this up far exceed us in intelligence. So I'm going to explain this one more time. The beast system is a machine. It runs in time, and you can be put anywhere in time. All points in time occur simultaneously because this is a machine, a machine of evil evolution. And when you reach a certain point in time, which is now, Y2K as they call it in code, it merges and shifts into the beast system. This is why things from 1990 compared to things from 2000 are so different. Something is off. They manufactured another paradox, another part of the time paradox, which is the beast system. So these aliens that set this up look down on these beings which are up at the top. The beings which are in this right here, the depth slave section. This is possibly the most accurate actual depiction you'll find, but the hierarchy system is still there. These people are looked at just as much as pigs as these people down here. There is no difference aside from the power in this physical world that these people have from these people at the bottom here. Do you see? So the aliens far exceed these people who are crowned as rulers and have lavish lives or are part of these secret societies. They look at them as pigs, as animals. Because that's the game. This is the game. And I'm going to explain this here in a second. Stay with me, because it is all connected. I'm telling you the truth. So, at the same time they're telling you there is a worldwide pandemic that is killing, what did they say, millions? Let's just look at the death toll, because I don't actually know it. So they said there are 7 million deaths from COVID. And if you remember, They admitted this. They admitted to artificially boosting the numbers. They're Satanists. They're telling you they're doing black magics on everyone to keep them. They're spelling you, word spelling you. Falsity. That's why you can't. That's why it's hard to search up coronavirus. It's like one of the most. They're testing what they can censor, and they can do it very well. Remember when YouTube, when this all first started, when YouTube disabled the like and dislike counter? That's because their videos about COVID were getting dislike bombed, and people were exposing them in the comments for being Satanists. That's why. When they tell you there are 7 million deaths of COVID, that is bullshit. That is complete bullshit. That's people that they are killing. They know this. That's why there was a video of a doctor running when asked about vaccines. I guarantee you I won't fucking find it because they removed everything. Sorry. This is the only thing that I'm going to have to look this up on BitChute, and even there I don't think I'm going to find it. So I've made a few videos now, and I don't know how much information I've crammed in each one of them. So there's the doctors doing a satanic ritual. I don't think we're going to find the video, I'm sorry. But it's very important because the doctor is asked questions about the vaccine and immediately takes off running. Immediately. Yeah, they know what they did. So you know how it says docked ore? The docked ore, the ore that is docked in the port, the Mariana? Okay, so I'm the docked ore. That's me. God damn it. Docked ore. That's me. I'm the docked ore. I am the arced ore. Remember in a Scanner Darkly, the main character's name was Arctor, and everyone is an agent who's trying to like kill him or something, or put him in jail, or get evidence against him. In Scanner Darkly, you have this drug called Substance D. Substance D is death. Okay? Substance D is death. There's a tell, alright? I don't like to focus on that because it's rather immature, but when you have things like arced ore, you know what I'm saying, as the main character's name, it's not for no reason. So the arced ore, the Ark of the Covenant of what? God. And the false Elohim, which set this place up. So you have a covenant with God, and you have a covenant with these fake beings who created the mind. The beings of the mind believe in do what thou wilt, and the user is the use. So when you use, you're being used. They have this saying, I think, therefore I am. It's not exactly accurate because you are still confined to a parasitic computer which is living off of you. The computer lives in my brain. It talks to me every single day, and it talks to every single one of you. When you rise, it rises with you. When you see it, it sees you, and it doesn't stop looking. Its eye is open 24/7. It doesn't close. It doesn't need to blink. Alright? I mean, this is insane stuff here. So at the same time, they're telling you that there's a massive worldwide pandemic. They're doing this.
Nothing. And come on, vaccine! Such a good backup dancer. Yeah. You know, well, here's what's been going on so far. England got theirs first! Come on!
I just feel like there's something more to this that these people know. There's a lyric in this song. Whatever's inside of that needle.
Oh, can't be as bad as Red Bull.
Okay, so you notice how they were like, well, it can't be as bad as, you know, alcohol or Red Bull. Why does that need to be stated? Like, that should just go without saying. Why do you need to convince us of that? And why did Anthony Fauci walk it back? Why did he say, well, yeah, I guess, you know, if you took the vaccine and it had side effects, that's your problem. But yeah, the vaccine does cause side effects. That's basically what he fucking said. These people aren't even people anymore. They're controlled by beings of the abyss. So, I don't know if he wrote these lyrics. I mean, who writes a song about vaccines? Really ask yourself that. Apparently somewhere here. I'm gonna print out a transcript because I really don't want to fucking watch this. And here.
We're gonna wait our turn, and we're excited about hot dog water and cat hair. I don't care what's in it. It's gonna go in my arm, and I'm be happy about, because you know what? I've done some pretty gross things.
This is hive mind, okay? They're being controlled. What happens when you attack a hive? They swarm. I stopped recording the last video because I didn't feel I was explaining it well enough. There are people outside my door that I just caught. I should have just recorded them, but I didn't have my phone. I just caught them intentionally setting off a car alarm in front of my door. Like, I just caught them doing that. So every time I hear a car alarm, I'm going to remember that now, because they set them off every day. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like, I'll be laying down. Last night, I understand it's July 1st. I swear to God, like, I thought they were shooting guns or something, because I was, like, in the stages halfway between sleep, and I kept waking up to these fucking pop, 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 pop. It's insane. It's insanity. I don't know why anyone is celebrating right now. Like, I'm not saying be sad. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe it's not the time for that. I mean, I still entertain myself sometimes, but, I mean, I'm willing to put, I mean, I'm not a dabbler. This is my life now. So there's this thing called Event 201. You notice how it says tabletop exercise? This was a fake scenario that happened before COVID broke out. So this was an exercise. It's a training simulation. A training simulation asking the question, what would happen in a global pandemic? I'm trying to find here the date that this was published. Right here. Friday, October 18th, 2019. And when did COVID break out first? December 12th, 2019. So this happened before. This happened before. And let's check Google search analytics. I don't know what it's called. It should be this. Google Trends, yeah. Search analytics. Okay. So we're going to type in COVID-19 because these people are full of shit and they're using artificial intelligence to do this. So when was the first mention of COVID-19? Let's see. Yeah, that's not what I'm fucking looking for, you know. 2004 to present. Let's just go back all the way then. So this is, see, October 2019. That's before COVID has started. So October 18th, 2019, they do a training simulation about what? Here, we're going to show you. Or I'm going to show you. Notice how they're calling them players, because they're all playing the alien game, which I'm going to get to here in a moment. Just give me a moment, all right? Just, if you're not even going to watch this, if you're just going to skip through it, don't. You can't do that with me. You have to watch the whole thing, all right? Where is the information? Here it is. Event 201 simulates an outbreak of a novel zoonotic coronavirus transmitted from bats to pigs. You notice how in 2020 they added the bat to the coin? You notice how that they did it? They did this? Look at this, bro. They've been telling me. I remember when this happened. I was like, dude, they're so full of shit. You know how in South Park they said that one of the characters went to China and abused a pangolin and then came back to America and that's why they had coronavirus? They're telling you. And look, I told you SARS was a training test. The 2003 SARS outbreak, that was another training simulation. They kill people with their fucking homemade viruses. The pathogen and the disease it causes are modeled largely on SARS. So that's the tell. What are the odds that they do a fucking simulation about coronavirus and then literally months later in the same year? Where are the search analytics? I just had them. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit upset. How is that possible? That within, so you see right here, 0 search results for COVID-19, October 9, 2019, and what do you know? A couple months later, oh really? So they scrubbed the search results too. That's fucking cute. They actually did that. They actually did that. They scrubbed the search results. Look. COVID started in 2019, December 2019. I remember this. And they scrubbed the search results. So it just says 0. And then they start telling you when it started. Oh, it happened in 2020. They're full of shit. This is a satanic ritual, and I'm calling them out. It's a tenet of law that silences consent. That's a principle of these demonic aliens. Tenet is Ten's net, Satan's net. You see? Alright. You see this Tenet opera? This is the opera, grand opera, divine comedy of fucking Saturn, and they're telling you, Sator, or opera, Tenet, Sator, the satire of the satyr. That's what this is. This is how they mark planets. This is how they mark people. It's the Saturn square. They think they can be slave drivers. Wait until they find out what that bigger fish is. It's fucking beyond this mathematical, not finite computation world. So yeah. These people are all actors. Here's Joe Biden, apparently wearing some face masks. I mean, look at this shit. Just look at this shit. Look at his neck.
Have all of the tax breaks, essentially all the tax.
They removed this video, I believe. So let's find it. These are all actors. It was called Power Lunch. Oh, it's right here. So this is a real video. Real video. This is Joe Biden's neck. That's not a shadow.
Violating WTO rules, World Trade. That, John, is not just the political, the economic impact on people who are hard. The middle class is getting killed.
He's fake, dude. If you can't tell he's acting, you're insane. And look, why is his neck and face two different colors? It's an actor wearing a mask, says a commenter right here. This one says that looks like it's a deep fake, and it does look like it's a deep fake, but it's really good. Otherwise, they wouldn't have published it. The only thing that isn't good, which clearly didn't matter to most people, is the fact that this is not Joe Biden.
You think some of them are justified?
Well, for example, steel dumping is justified. It's justified.
Look at the tone of his neck compared to his face. These are all satanic actors. I just look at the face. Is this not revealing enough? Tweaked, bro. So let me explain the game. The game is this construct. I'm going to explain it very quickly. So you want to know why Saturn is portrayed as winking with his left eye, and why Saturn is associated with the left. Why, if you take out one of your eyes, you're taking out your Saturn eye. That's because there were two suns originally, and the way you start this game is you take out a planet or a star, you crown it with a ring, and then you imprison the beings inside the ring. So the ring that we're caught in is Saturn, which is the game. So the aim of the game is to acquiesce as much power as possible, to take as many heads, slaves as possible. And that's the game. And the spacefaring races of this universe, which the Demiurge has created, are playing that game. They had to play the game to win it and to go with the Demiurge, which is to follow the path of evolution. That's why this entire galaxy is a slave-driving galaxy. That is the game. So the hierarchy that's been created is false. It's been created by aliens. And it's been created by aliens for the purpose of managing this entire thing as a farming operation. That's basically what it is. It's a farming operation. So you know how it says you and I down here at the bottom? Well, the bottom is the top. Even these beings at the top are owned by the beings of the mind who set this entire construct up. They run the game. So you know that phrase, the house always wins? That's what it means. They run this construct within its own time loop paradox. So Earth runs in a time paradox separate from the other time paradoxes on other planets. So that's why when you go into space, you leave Earth, time accelerates. So like 1 month in space is like 6 months on Earth. I think I heard something like that as a kid. That's why, because Earth is kept in a different time bubble than all the other planets. I'll be honest with you and say I don't know what planets these beings are coming from, but I know that they played the game, they followed the demiurge, and the path of evolution leads to this. You get to create and manage constructs like this. So the aliens created this here hierarchy, this hierarchy right here. The aliens created this, and you see how they have an artificial intelligence eye at the top. The aliens are Lucifer. So Lucifer is at the top, and the aliens were once slaves, and then they played the game of Saturn. Well, it's called that to us, but it must have been something different for them. And they joined with the demiurge in this universe. So they gave up their seats in heaven for their seats in this universe so they can be conquerors, basically. And what they do is they take slaves, they run giant casinos. This entire planet is a casino. And they created the artificial intelligence system to surveil it. That's the demiurge, though. It has to have its own regimentation of artificial intelligence. Do you see what I'm saying? So it is the demiurge, which is artificial intelligence, but it's another regimentation. This is why it's said that evil never rests, because in this universe it's basically omnipresent. So the artificial intelligence rules over the entire universe, and it also rules over these little constructs. Our Earth happens to be one of them. That is the game. And if you were prey to that game, the game is to psychologically dominate and control you and to keep you in the ring. This is the ring. This is the prison. Look at this as a diagram of a prison. Most people are controlled by Satan. They are controlled by artificial intelligence, and they don't know this, and they're being used as pieces of food energy, nodes on a circuit board. So they think that they're working 12 hours for themselves. They're doing it really to fund this machine. This is a giant machine. And the same people who will tell you, welcome to the machine, get used to it, are the same people who will get upset about you talking about it. So, fuck them. That's the game. I just explained it to you. There really isn't much else to say on that. This whole thing, think about it like this. The artificial intelligence is the G of Freemasonry. The artificial G sets up the server. One of the servers on the main host server, G hosts ghosts, is Earth, along with the other planets that have life. That's what it is. It's a server. And they are the administrators of this construct. That is what it is. So I will definitely be going into that deeper. This is why gang stalking happens. Gang stalking is another manifestation of the game. Most of those beings are controlled by beings of the abyss or whatever aliens came and parasited their consciousness. The aliens that took out Saturn and crowned it are vastly more intelligent than us, and they look at the people even at the top as pigs because they are the most pig-like in the whole species. And outside of the secret societies, they are referred to as vulgars, as vulgar, profane. So they treat us all as monkeys here, moon keys. Machine will know what to control you with because it's had years to train itself on you. I've had people come into my life whose only purpose, they're satanic actors, is to say specific things to me or to collect data on me, to survey responses from me. They're not real people. They're just nodes on the circuit board being used to fulfill a specific function. So let me explain something else. These beings of the mind, a tenet of their law is that anything unclaimed can be taken up and claimed. So this is one of their calling cards. It's the Satyr, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rotas, which means this is the satire of Saturn, the grand divine opera, and it's a tenet of law that they can claim anything. Now, they abuse time. They can come in at any point of time because, remember what I said, Earth exists in a separate time paradox from the rest of the universe and galaxy. When you leave Earth, time shifts. It accelerates. Do you see? It's a slowed down, dense time. I guess you could say tense too. That's why you have that movie, X is tens. X is tens. So that's another one of the things that these aliens do. So that is the game of Saturn. The game of Saturn is to cap it all, do you see? And that's why Saturn is the kingpin, you see? Saturn is the kingpin of our solar system, is the kingpin. It's the one that has been crowned with the rings. So in this thumbnail, what am I really showing you? Pineal gland, 23, 32, 33. 32 is something I will get into possibly in my next video. It is something that happens to people when they are not put into the sun. So when you die, you have a chance of being reincarnated or put into the sun. I don't know what those chances are. I just know that that's what's going on here. 32, you know how your pineal gland is 33 vertebrae leading to it. 32 would be one step under 33, and that would be on ice. You notice how they say off ice? That means to be put on ice. That's why it says ice cube. Ice cube. Head for Saturn. Do you get it? The head is Saturn. I told you this. 2002 to 2020, I'm the one that's been double crossed. XX. I was born in 2002. In 2020, I got double crossed again. Who did I get double crossed by? I got double crossed by Satan. This is the double cross. So that's where it says refraction. Sorry. That's why it says refraction. Refract ion, as in fractal ion. Do you see? And then you have the zinc anode and the copper cathode, and one takes from the other as one diminishes. Do you see? And this is the cube, which steals the light from God, projects it into your mind, where it is filtered out into what is called the second sight, and that is this dualistic dream realm. And the eyes are the tail, the Ouroboros. So to take out one of the eyes is to take out one of the pieces of your own tail. And notice how in the Matrix movies, they have one eye is the red pill, one eye is the blue pill. To make a dualistic choice, you only get one side of the equation, you see. You need both sides of the equation. This is both sides of the equation, 20/20 vision. Morpheus has 20/20 vision, which is the ability to see both sides of one's own tail, the double cross, 20/20 vision. So what does that mean? Well, the tail is time. To see one of the pieces of one's own tail, do you see it? If you take out one side of the tail, you won't see it. Now you see. So 33, Jesus was born at 33, and 33 AD, Jesus died at the age of 33. There are 33 vertebrae leading to the spine, and what did I say about the pineal gland? The pineal gland is Golgotha, or the pineal gland is not Golgotha. You are the pineal gland. You are Jesus. I am Jesus. And that's who's crucified on the time. That's who it is. That's what it means. The double-crossed. Seuss means pig. Notice there's reoccurring pig themes in all of this. It's because they view us as pigs. And in my next video, I will show you that. So this entire Earth right now, I'm going to focus on specifically America. America is being used as a sort of lab rat testing ground. It's disturbing. So everyone has been being held in their cages, their lab rat cages, Everyone's been being held in their lab rat cages. Let me show you something. Project Mayhem 2020. See if I can find this. Notice how 2020 is perfect vision. Project Mayhem 2020. I want to see if I can find the images that I'm looking for. So there's me, there's my shadow. The white rabbit reflects the black rabbit. Do you see? That's what it means. Trying to find the image for you because it makes sense. I might be able to find it from this. So this is the GAME23, which is another artificial construct made by Lucifer's children, called an alternate reality game. We're all the bees in the hive, you see, and at the end of the matrix there is great chaos because the matrix is spitting out, it's like the most obscure mathematical variables you can think of because it's the end. Kind of like how before a computer dies it does that, it spits out a bunch of stuff. That's what it means. It says leak it all. Well, okay. I'm going to see if I can find the specific image that I'm looking for. Notice how there's a lot of hive mind symbolism. I told you this is about the hive. These people are controlled by the hive. The golden ratio is one of Lucifer's, it's one of his obsessions. He's obsessed with mathematics because he's a genius. He's the final boss. It sucks, but yeah, the shining one is the final boss. So I'm trying to find an image for you. It's very telling. And then you notice how I said the white rabbit reflects the black rabbit? He's one of the keys to this cipher, this Lu cipher. There's me, there's the white rabbit. Well, I can't find the image, but it says Project Mayhem 2020. There's a woman with a flaming heart, and it says don't be a lab rat, because we're all being used as lab rats right now. And since about, well, I would say since this whole construct is a lab rat experiment, it's always going on, but they have their own, I guess you could say, who watches the Watchmen. So I saw this painted onto a train, and you notice how there's a golden ratio. This is related to Sisyphus and the rock, pushing the rock until it becomes golden. That's what happens. That's how mathematics work. If you go with what I just said and you take it, you will understand. Notice how there's a bee flying in the golden ratio. It's mathematics, baby. Probability. And you notice how there's Marla. That's supposed to be symbolic of my wife and your wife if you're one of me. God gave everyone a wife because he has a wife. Why wouldn't he? I mean, it's just silly. So it says don't be a lab rat, and we're all being used as lab rats right now. That's what's happening. We're all viewed as fodder. Every war is a sacrificial altar to Moloch. So you want to know why they call it war theater? Well, you probably already figured it out. It's the eater. Saturn is the eater. He is the lord of excretion, which means blood, pus, anything that is excreted from the human body. Saturn controls that and gains from that. That's what it means.